The galaxy's most feared alien fleet approached without warning, ready to conquer Earth. But humans responded with a signal so clever it froze the entire armada. Courage and strategy turned the tide. Humanity's brilliance shone bright. Don't miss more daring space adventures. Subscribe now and stay part of the story. The massive alien fleet appeared on the edge of the solar system, their enormous warships moving in perfect formation, glowing faintly with strange lights that humans had never seen before. They were unlike anything seen on Earth, sleek and intimidating, each ship bristling with weapons that no human engineer could recognize. As they advanced, the sensors in Earth's orbital defense stations picked up unusual energy signatures, and alarms rang across military bases. Scientists and commanders hurried to analyze the data, realizing that this was not just a small exploratory mission. This was a full-scale invasion. The aliens moved with confidence, their fleet spreading over hundreds of kilometers, casting shadows on planets and moons as they passed. Humans watched in awe and fear, the sky filled with objects moving so fast and silently that it seemed unreal. Earth's leaders immediately called emergency meetings. High-ranking military officers, politicians, and scientific experts crowded into secure command centers, trying to understand what the alien fleet intended. Everyone knew that humanity had never faced anything like this before. Most nations had no defense capable of matching such advanced technology. Panic began to spread among civilians as news outlets and social media reported strange objects entering the solar system. People stared at the sky in disbelief, unsure if they should run, hide, or prepare to fight. Meanwhile, the alien sensors scanned Earth, analyzing its atmosphere, communications, and military capabilities. They were calculating, efficient, and certain of victory. They assumed humans were primitive, disorganized, and incapable of defending their planet. The Black Star, a human warship designed for deep space combat, prepared to move. It was humanity's pride, a symbol of advanced engineering, and the last hope against an overwhelming enemy. Its crew worked tirelessly, running simulations, checking weapon systems, and coordinating with Earth Command. The humans knew they were outnumbered, but they also understood that speed, intelligence, and strategy could become their greatest weapons. Every crew member aboard the Black Star felt the weight of responsibility, knowing that millions of lives depended on their actions. As the alien fleet closed in, Earth's orbital satellites and defense drones tracked their movements. Scientists noticed strange patterns in the alien formations. Certain ships moved slightly differently, almost like they were testing the humans' response. Strategists on Earth realized that the aliens were arrogant, assuming they would face no real resistance. They planned to use this arrogance against them. Humans began sending encrypted signals to the Black Star, coordinating positions, and preparing for an engagement that could change the future of the planet. Civilian life on Earth paused as people observed the alien fleet. Night turned into day, in some regions as the massive ships reflected sunlight in dazzling patterns. Media broadcasts showed live images of the fleet, sparking awe and fear. Schools, offices, and streets emptied as people tried to find safety. Governments enforced calm, urging citizens to stay inside and trust their military. The world had never been so united in fear and hope at the same time. The aliens assumed that fear alone would be enough to conquer. They could not understand human determination. The humans had survived countless challenges on their planet, from natural disasters to global conflicts, and they had learned to adapt, innovate, and fight back when necessary. As the alien fleet advanced steadily, the first real human strategies began to take shape. Small maneuvers and sensor scans revealed potential weaknesses. Patterns in the aliens' movements suggested that they had underestimated the humans entirely. Tension filled every command center. Every scientist, officer, and sailor understood that the next moments were critical. The alien fleet's massive size and advanced technology were terrifying, but humans had something the aliens could not measure: unpredictability, courage, and clever thinking. With each passing second, the humans prepared mentally and physically to face an enemy they had only imagined in fiction. The air on Earth and aboard the Black Star was thick with anticipation, knowing that the arrival of the alien fleet marked the beginning of a momentous battle, one that could decide the fate of humanity forever. The alien fleet continued to move closer, unaware that their confidence was about to meet a level of human ingenuity they could not anticipate. Sensors recorded every movement, every energy signature, and human minds raced to interpret them. As the first ships reached the inner solar system, Earth held its breath, ready to prove that it was not as helpless as the invaders believed. The stage was set for a confrontation that would shock the galaxy and change the future of humans and aliens alike. Earth's military forces sprang into action as soon as the alien fleet was confirmed approaching. The Black Star, humanity's most advanced warship, moved into position, its sleek frame cutting through space with precision. Crew members worked with focused determination, running final system checks, calibrating energy weapons, and preparing defensive shields. Every officer aboard knew the importance of the mission, understanding that they were facing a fleet far larger and more advanced than anything humans had built before. Across the globe, military satellites and orbital sensors coordinated to provide real-time data, feeding the Black Star with information about the alien ship's speed, formation, and energy emissions. Strategists studied these patterns, searching for weaknesses or signs of hesitation. Human commanders realized that brute force alone would not win this confrontation. They needed a plan that used intelligence, strategy, and psychological pressure. The Black Star's captain called a meeting of top officers, outlining maneuvers designed to exploit the aliens' arrogance and overconfidence. Small drone swarms were prepared to create illusions of larger forces, and energy flares were set to mimic heavy weapon fire. The humans planned to show power without directly risking their limited fleet, hoping to confuse and intimidate the aliens before any shots were fired. Meanwhile, civilians on Earth watched in awe and fear. Televisions and live streams broadcast the image of the approaching alien ships, enormous and silent, reflecting sunlight in dazzling arrays across the sky. People in cities and towns paused their daily routines, staring upward, feeling the mix of panic and wonder. Governments instructed citizens to remain indoors while maintaining calm. The atmosphere on Earth was tense but united, as everyone shared the same understanding that this was a moment that could define the future of humanity. On the Black Star, crew members prepared their stations with intense focus. Technicians monitored weapon systems, communications officers ensured encrypted channels were secure, and navigators calculated precise trajectories to keep the ship in optimal positions. Every action was deliberate, designed to maintain readiness for sudden movements by the alien fleet. Despite fear, a sense of determination and pride ran through the ship, knowing they represented all of humanity in this first encounter with a powerful extraterrestrial force. The alien fleet, meanwhile, moved with precision, their sensors scanning for threats, but they remained confident that humans could not pose a real challenge. The humans recognized this arrogance and intended to use it. Analysts on the Black Star observed that some alien ships maintained unusual positions, as if testing reactions. Humans prepared to respond with carefully timed signals, decoy movements, and energy projections designed to exaggerate the size and strength of the Black Star's supporting fleet. Every decision aimed to make the aliens hesitate and overthink, buying humans valuable time. Communication between Earth command centers and the Black Star was constant. Coordinators relayed information about alien maneuvers, and scientists interpreted energy readings from alien weapons. Predictive models were generated to anticipate possible attack patterns. Each officer knew that quick thinking and coordinated responses could turn the aliens' confidence into fear. Small teams worked tirelessly to anticipate every scenario, creating contingency plans for multiple outcomes, while civilians waited nervously for the first sign of engagement. The Black Star prepared to display its presence, activating sensor arrays and energy flares to project a sense of overwhelming power. Drones were launched in strategic formations to give the illusion of a larger fleet. The humans hoped to make the aliens question their assumptions and reconsider direct attacks. The tension grew as the aliens approached closer to Earth's orbit, every second bringing them nearer to a potential confrontation. The Black Star's crew remained calm and vigilant, understanding that patience and precision were their strongest weapons. For the first time, the humans felt the advantage of being underestimated. They could observe, calculate, and manipulate perceptions without immediately risking battle. Earth's satellites captured detailed images of the alien fleet, feeding analysis teams with critical data. While fear lingered, determination and strategy guided every action aboard the Black Star, preparing for the moment when humans would finally reveal the power and intelligence that could change the course of the encounter. As the alien fleet entered Earth's defensive perimeter, the Black Star held position, a silent challenge waiting in space. Humans knew that one wrong move could trigger disaster. But every right decision could stun the invaders and give humanity the upper hand. In every command center, on every ship, and across every human city watching the skies, people waited with bated breath, ready to witness a demonstration of courage, strategy, and ingenuity that would prove humanity was far more capable than any alien invader had imagined. The stage was set, the humans prepared, and the aliens continued forward, unaware that the first real act of psychological and strategic warfare was about to begin. The alien fleet moved steadily through space, confident in their superiority. Their enormous ships glinting in the sunlight, they approached Earth with precise formation and deadly efficiency. Humans aboard the Black Star monitored every movement, noting patterns and irregularities. The crew had prepared for this moment for years, running simulations and developing strategies to confront an enemy vastly superior in numbers and firepower. As the aliens came within range, the Black Star activated its advanced sensor array, sending out a powerful scanning signal designed to probe the alien fleet's capabilities. The signal also acted as a test, revealing how the invaders would respond to unexpected human actions. Suddenly, the humans executed the first part of their plan. The Black Star transmitted a high-intensity, complex energy pulse directly toward the alien command ship. It was not a weapon in the traditional sense, but a combination of electromagnetic interference, sensor disruption, and unknown technology designed to confuse and intimidate. The pulse spread through the fleet like a ripple, causing alarms to blare across alien control rooms. Confusion erupted as the alien ships froze, unsure of what the humans had done or what might happen next. The aliens tried to communicate, sending rapid signals to coordinate their response, but the human pulse scrambled their communications. Messages failed to reach their intended destinations, and commands to attack or maneuver were delayed. The invaders were used to obedience and instantaneous response within their ranks, but the Black Star's signal disrupted everything, leaving the fleet paralyzed. Humans watched carefully from their consoles, analyzing reactions and preparing to exploit any sign of weakness. The crew realized that the aliens' arrogance had made them predictable, and their overconfidence would soon become their greatest vulnerability. In the control room of the Black Star, officers exchanged tense glances, knowing that they had achieved something remarkable. The aliens, despite their technological advantage, had been forced into hesitation by a calculated human action. For the first time in this confrontation, humans had taken the upper hand, not by firepower, but by strategy, innovation, and a deep understanding of psychology. The crew double-checked their instruments, ensuring that the signal remained stable and that the alien fleet could not immediately recover. Every moment of hesitation by the invaders increased Earth's advantage. Across Earth, military and scientific teams monitored the unfolding situation. The data streamed from the Black Star showed exactly how the aliens were reacting, revealing vulnerabilities in their formations and potential gaps in their defensive systems. Analysts quickly mapped out scenarios for the next moves, preparing drone strikes, energy projections, and defensive patterns to maintain pressure on the paralyzed fleet. Civilians followed the news with awe and fear, hearing reports that the alien ships had suddenly stopped moving, unsure of how to react. Humanity collectively held its breath, realizing that the encounter was far from ordinary. The alien commanders, confused and frustrated, struggled to regain control. Their advanced systems could not compensate for the unknown human technology. The fleet had never encountered an opponent capable of manipulating sensors and communications so effectively. Panic spread in subtle ways, with smaller ships drifting slightly out of formation and sub-commanders questioning orders. The humans noticed every small deviation, analyzing the alien fleet like a chessboard. Each frozen ship representing an opportunity to gain more control of the battle. The Black Star continued to project an aura of strength, activating light flares, energy signatures, and drone formations to exaggerate the size of its supporting fleet. The aliens could not determine what was real and what was simulated, increasing their fear and hesitation. Each display was carefully timed and calculated to reinforce the impression that humans were far more powerful and organized than the invaders had assumed. The crew aboard the Black Star felt a surge of confidence, knowing that their plan was working flawlessly. They had turned the aliens' expectations upside down, and the fleet remained frozen, unsure how to respond. Time seemed to stretch as the alien fleet lingered in uncertainty. Each second of hesitation magnified the humans' advantage. Analysts aboard the Black Star prepared contingency plans in case the aliens attempted to retaliate. But for now, patience and careful observation were the key. The frozen fleet gave humans a rare opportunity to understand alien tactics, weapon ranges, and sensor capabilities without risking direct conflict. Every human on the bridge understood the significance of this moment. It was proof that intelligence and strategy could overcome brute force. Finally, the first cracks in the alien formation appeared, small movements indicating fear and uncertainty. The humans remained steady, projecting calm and controlled power, waiting for the perfect moment to turn confusion into full advantage. Every officer aboard the Black Star felt the weight of history, knowing that humanity's first display of tactical brilliance in space would be remembered forever. The aliens had arrived expecting an easy victory, but the humans had rewritten the rules of engagement, turning fear into a weapon against their invaders. The stage was now set for the next phase. The aliens were frozen, the humans prepared, and the first real act of strategic warfare had begun. The alien fleet remained frozen in space, their massive ships suspended mid-orbit, unable to decide whether to advance, retreat, or attack. Panic rippled through their ranks as their sensors and communications were still disrupted by the Black Star's high-intensity signal. The alien commanders barked orders, but none of their ships responded immediately, hesitation spreading like a contagion. The humans observed calmly from the Black Star, their strategy of psychological warfare working perfectly. For the first time, humanity had created real fear in an alien civilization that had considered itself invincible. Every crew member aboard the Black Star felt a mix of relief and exhilaration, understanding that this moment could turn the tide without a single shot fired. Across Earth, military analysts watched the data pouring in from sensors and satellites, noting the alien fleet's complete freeze. They updated commanders in real time, showing diagrams of frozen formations and irregular energy fluctuations in alien systems. Experts began to speculate on the psychological state of the invaders, realizing that the aliens' arrogance had made them vulnerable to human ingenuity. Even small errors or delays could have catastrophic consequences for the invaders if exploited correctly. Humanity's scientists and strategists worked tirelessly to interpret every signal, every anomaly, turning uncertainty into an advantage. The Black Star maintained its position, holding steady like a predator observing its prey. The humans did not need to strike immediately. Instead, they projected strength, deploying small drone swarms and energy flares to exaggerate the size and capability of their forces. The aliens scanned repeatedly, trying to understand whether these were real reinforcements or illusions. Confusion and fear deepened as the humans revealed nothing concrete but maintained an unmistakable aura of controlled power. The frozen fleet became a study in hesitation, the aliens trapped between their overconfidence and an unknown threat. Inside the alien command ships, tension was mounting. Their systems worked with precision, but the inability to interpret the human signal caused doubt. Sub-commanders whispered to each other, debating if they should attack the Black Star directly or fall back to regroup. Every suggestion carried risk, and every risk felt magnified because the humans had introduced something entirely unpredictable into the encounter. The aliens had never faced an enemy who could manipulate their technology without direct confrontation, and this realization paralyzed them completely. On the Black Star, officers took advantage of the alien freeze to gather intelligence. Their sensors scanned every ship, every energy reading, and every communication attempt. Data flowed into the ship's computer systems, helping humans map the alien fleet in ways that had been impossible before. Analysts noted weak points in formations, slight gaps in defensive coverage, and unusual energy emissions from weapon systems. The humans prepared to use this information to their advantage, planning moves that would maintain pressure while minimizing risk. Every second of hesitation by the aliens was a victory for Earth. Civilians on Earth continued to watch live broadcasts, seeing the alien ships suspended in space, unable to act. Fear and hope intermingled across the globe. People realized that humans had achieved something extraordinary, stopping a fleet of invaders without firing a single weapon. Discussions broke out in every home, school, and workplace about how intelligence, courage, and innovation could triumph over sheer size and strength. Humanity's confidence grew even as they remained cautious, knowing that this pause was temporary and the real challenge had yet to come. The frozen fleet also revealed cracks in alien discipline. Smaller ships drifted slightly out of formation, and some energy signatures fluctuated, indicating internal confusion. The Black Star's crew recorded every detail, understanding that these small errors could be magnified into strategic opportunities. Engineers prepared contingency plans to exploit any alien attempt to regain control, while navigators calculated precise maneuvers to keep the human warship safe. Patience and observation became the humans' most powerful weapons, proving that preparation and strategy could outweigh brute force. In the command room of the Black Star, tension coexisted with pride. Every officer understood the significance of the aliens' freeze. They had created the first human advantage in this conflict, using clever tactics rather than weapons. The Black Star's captain issued calm instructions, emphasizing observation, precision, and the importance of waiting for the right moment. Every crew member followed orders with disciplined focus, understanding that overreaction could endanger everything they had achieved. The alien fleet, meanwhile, remained trapped in indecision, unable to act without risking disaster. Their sensors and communications still unreliable, their arrogance replaced by uncertainty and fear. Every frozen ship was a symbol of humanity's growing control over the encounter. The humans knew that this moment of hesitation could be extended, that patience and careful planning could turn the aliens' fear into a decisive advantage. In space, the standoff continued, the alien fleet immobilized, and the humans prepared to turn frozen hesitation into full triumph. The stage was set for the next move, the aliens paralyzed, the humans observing and calculating, every passing second strengthening humanity's position and demonstrating that intelligence, strategy, and courage could make the impossible possible. The Black Star remained steady in space, its crew aware that the alien fleet was frozen but could regain control at any moment. Humans knew that the key to victory was to maintain pressure without engaging directly, projecting strength to keep the aliens uncertain and hesitant. The officers and strategists aboard the Black Star began implementing the next phase of their plan. Using small drone swarms, they created the illusion of a much larger fleet. Each drone moved in precise formations, mimicking the movements of full-sized warships. Energy flares and sensor pulses were deployed at strategic intervals, making it appear as if multiple human ships had joined the Black Star in formation. The aliens, observing from their massive command vessels, could not distinguish between real ships and illusions. Their sensors recorded multiple signatures that seemed to suggest reinforcements, and confusion spread further through their ranks. The frozen ships wavered slightly, as commanders hesitated to act, fearing that any movement could trigger a hidden human attack. Analysts aboard the Black Star monitored these reactions carefully, adjusting drone formations and flare patterns to maximize the psychological impact on the aliens. Every action was calculated to make the humans seem larger, stronger, and more organized than reality. A single misstep could reveal the truth, so precision was paramount. Meanwhile, Earth's command centers continued to track the alien fleet, feeding the Black Star data on energy fluctuations, sensor anomalies, and minor movements. Strategists used this information to anticipate potential recovery attempts by the aliens, preparing contingencies for every scenario. The humans understood that time was on their side. Each second of hesitation by the alien fleet allowed more observation and better planning. Civilians followed live feeds with awe, witnessing a display of strategy and ingenuity that no one had imagined possible. Fear and hope mixed as humanity watched its champions turn the tables on a vastly superior enemy. On the Black Star, officers coordinated the drone movements with impeccable timing. Each drone acted as a force multiplier, making the alien commanders question whether an entire fleet of human ships had arrived. The energy flares added to the illusion, creating the impression of heavy weaponry charging and ready to fire. Every human aboard the Black Star felt the tension and thrill, knowing that these psychological tactics were as powerful as any weapon in space. The alien fleet remained frozen, their pride and confidence replaced with growing uncertainty. Even the smallest signs of hesitation were recorded and analyzed by human crews, preparing for the moment when they could exploit these weaknesses fully. The aliens attempted to send signals between ships, hoping to restore coordination, but the Black Star's interference continued to scramble communications. Orders were delayed or misinterpreted, causing some smaller ships to drift out of formation. The humans noted these deviations carefully, understanding that these small cracks could lead to larger opportunities. Commanders prepared to escalate pressure incrementally, ready to turn hesitation into retreat or surrender if needed. Patience and observation were as critical as any offensive maneuver. Every display of human calculated strength increased the psychological impact on the alien fleet. Crew members aboard the Black Star worked in synchrony, their roles meticulously defined. From navigation to weapon control to drone operations, every action contributed to the overall impression of overwhelming human power. Engineers monitored energy outputs to ensure that all systems operated flawlessly, maintaining the illusion of a massive, fully armed human fleet. Meanwhile, analysts continued to study the alien ships, mapping weak points, unusual patterns, and energy fluctuations that could later be exploited. Every detail was recorded, preparing humans to capitalize on the aliens' confusion. Civilians across Earth continued to watch with fascination and relief. Seeing the aliens frozen and the humans projecting strength, schools, workplaces, and homes discussed the unfolding events. People marveled at the ingenuity and calm strategy displayed by the Black Star crew. The global mood was a mixture of awe, pride, and cautious hope. Knowing that humanity had taken the first real step toward controlling the encounter, the Black Star did not move aggressively. Instead, it maintained position, using drones, energy flares, and sensor pulses to create maximum psychological effect. The aliens remained paralyzed, unable to act without risking disaster. Each second of hesitation increased human advantage, reinforcing the idea that brains could triumph over sheer force. The officers aboard the Black Star understood the significance of this moment, that humanity had demonstrated not only technical skill, but strategic brilliance. Finally, as hours passed, subtle signs indicated that the aliens were beginning to doubt themselves. Small ships drifted slightly, and some energy signatures fluctuated unpredictably. The humans held steady, projecting calm and control, waiting for the right moment to transition from intimidation to direct advantage. The stage was set for the next move, with humans ready to turn hesitation into full tactical dominance. Knowing that intelligence, patience, and careful planning could overcome even the most terrifying and advanced alien fleet, the alien commanders struggled to regain control of their fleet. Confusion and fear spread through every ship. Their advanced technology and disciplined crews could not compensate for the unexpected human tactics. The aliens had believed that their superior numbers and weaponry guaranteed victory, but the Black Star's strategy had shattered that confidence. Every officer aboard the alien command vessels questioned the wisdom of advancing, wondering if a single misstep could trigger devastating losses. The humans had not fired a weapon yet, but the display of intelligence, planning, and psychological pressure had already forced hesitation. On the Black Star, human strategists observed every subtle movement in the alien fleet, noting slight deviations, unsteady formations, and unusual energy fluctuations. Analysts calculated the aliens' level of fear and uncertainty, determining which ships were most vulnerable to further pressure. The crew understood that the aliens' arrogance had become their weakness, that overconfidence blinded them to human ingenuity and created openings that could be exploited. Every decision aboard the Black Star focused on maintaining calm, projecting strength, and waiting for the perfect moment to turn hesitation into decisive advantage. The humans began to introduce subtle maneuvers, Small adjustments in position and timing, designed to test the alien fleet's reaction. Drone swarms shifted slightly, energy flares pulsed with varying intensity, and sensors transmitted simulated signatures of additional human ships. The aliens reacted slowly, each movement calculated with fear. Every attempt to coordinate was delayed or misread, increasing confusion and reinforcing the impression that humans were far stronger than reality. The frozen fleet seemed almost alive, trapped between pride and panic. Unable to act decisively, Earth's command centers tracked every data stream, updating the Black Star with real-time analysis of alien ship responses. Scientists and military experts noted that even minor hesitations were magnified by the fleet's tightly controlled formation. The humans began planning the next phase, preparing to exploit the growing fear among alien ranks. Every slight crack in their formation was mapped and ready to be used. Analysts projected scenarios in which hesitation could escalate to retreat or complete withdrawal. The advantage humans had created without direct combat was now becoming tangible. Civilians on Earth watched in fascination as news broadcasts showed the alien fleet frozen and uncertain. People marveled at the calm, intelligence-driven approach of the Black Star crew. Fear remained, but it was tempered with awe and pride. Humanity had never faced a threat like this before, and yet the first demonstration of strategic brilliance gave hope. Conversations across cities, homes, and schools focused on the ingenuity displayed in space. The alien fleet's hesitation became a symbol of human resilience and cleverness, proving that brains could triumph over brute force. Inside the Black Star, officers coordinated further moves to maintain pressure. Every drone, energy flare, and sensor pulse was timed to maximize psychological impact. Engineers and navigators worked together, ensuring that every action appeared deliberate and overwhelming. The humans understood that restraint was just as important as demonstration, that showing controlled strength could provoke fear far more effectively than actual attacks. Every crew member felt the tension and excitement, knowing that they were writing a new chapter in human history through strategy rather than direct conflict. The alien fleet continued to struggle. Commanders debated whether to risk an attack, hold their position, or retreat. Their pride prevented immediate withdrawal, but fear and uncertainty slowed every decision. Even minor signals between ships were misinterpreted, causing confusion to spread through sub-command levels. The humans observed silently, taking note of every error, every hesitation, preparing to escalate their advantage at the precise moment. The Black Star's captain issued calm instructions, emphasizing observation, patience, and precise execution. The crew understood that timing was everything, that the aliens' uncertainty could be turned into complete strategic control if humans maintained their composure. Drone patterns shifted subtly, energy signatures intensified in calculated bursts, and sensor readings projected the illusion of even greater human forces. The aliens could not know the true scale of what faced them, deepening their fear. Hours passed as the humans continued to exert psychological dominance. The alien commander's confidence eroded further. Subtle mistakes multiplied, and ships drifted slightly, creating openings that could later be exploited. Analysts aboard the Black Star recorded every anomaly, preparing for the moment when hesitation could be converted into decisive action. Humanity had created an unprecedented advantage through intelligence, strategy, and restraint, showing that clever planning could turn even the most powerful enemy into a hesitant and uncertain force. Finally, small signs indicated that the alien fleet was beginning to consider retreat. The humans remained poised, ready to maintain pressure without revealing full strength. The stage was set for the next critical phase, as the frozen fleet's uncertainty became the humans' most powerful weapon. Every officer aboard the Black Star knew that the aliens' realization of human capability had shifted the balance of power. The aliens had learned fear, and humanity had learned the value of patience, cunning, and precise strategy in the vastness of space. The alien fleet, paralyzed for hours by the human display of intelligence and strategy, began to make cautious movements. Small ships shifted slightly, and some larger vessels altered positions tentatively. The aliens' confidence had eroded, replaced with uncertainty and fear. They realized that humans were far more capable than they had ever imagined. Even without full engagement, the humans had forced hesitation and doubt into their ranks. The Black Star monitored these movements carefully, ready to respond to any aggressive or reckless action by the invaders. Every officer aboard understood that patience and observation were now the most critical tools in securing victory. Earth's command centers continued to receive detailed data from sensors and satellites. Analysts tracked energy fluctuations, minor course adjustments, and communications attempts across the alien fleet. Every irregularity was studied, mapped, and prepared for exploitation. Strategists projected the most likely outcomes, predicting that the aliens might attempt a cautious withdrawal rather than risk direct confrontation. Humanity had created a psychological edge, turning fear and confusion into a powerful advantage. The Black Star's crew knew that timing would be essential, that any miscalculation could give the aliens a chance to recover. The humans decided to maintain their position while subtly demonstrating readiness to act. Drone swarms moved in carefully calculated patterns. Energy flares pulsed intermittently, and sensors transmitted simulated signatures of additional human ships. The alien commanders, already wary, interpreted these signals as signs of reinforcements. Further hesitation and confusion spread through their ranks. Even experienced subcommanders debated whether to hold position, risk advancing, or begin retreat. Each ship remained in a state of frozen indecision, increasing humanity's advantage without firing a single shot. On Earth, civilians followed the live broadcast with amazement. Seeing the alien fleet hesitate, unable to act decisively, the global mood shifted slightly from fear to cautious pride. Humanity had faced an unprecedented threat and managed to create an opening through intelligence and strategy alone. Schools, workplaces, and homes were filled with discussions about the ingenuity displayed by the Black Star crew. People marveled at the calm, calculated approach that had turned a terrifying situation into a demonstration of human capability. Inside the Black Star, crew members prepared for any eventuality. Technicians ensured that all systems were functioning flawlessly. Navigators recalculated optimal positions, and officers coordinated contingency plans. Every movement and calculation aimed to maintain psychological pressure. Observing subtle changes in the alien fleet, humans adjusted drone patterns and energy displays, maximizing the impression of overwhelming power. The aliens had no way of knowing the actual scale of human forces, deepening their fear and hesitation. After hours of observation and careful projection of strength, the alien commanders began to consider withdrawal as the safest option. Their confidence shattered. The risk of engagement seemed far greater than retreat. Even discussions among high-ranking alien officers were filled with doubt. The humans had demonstrated that unpredictability, courage, and intelligence could equal or surpass raw technological power. The Black Star remained vigilant, holding its position while monitoring every alien movement, ready to respond if the fleet attempted anything sudden or aggressive. Small indicators suggested that some alien ships were signaling a slow, cautious pullback. The humans interpreted this as the first tangible sign of success. Their psychological tactics had worked, creating hesitation and forcing the aliens to reevaluate their entire strategy. Analysts prepared for both continued withdrawal and potential last-minute attacks, ensuring that humans retained full control of the encounter. Each officer and crew member understood that this moment represented the turning point of the confrontation. Civilians on Earth continued to witness the unfolding events, watching as the alien fleet, once confident and imposing, began to retreat. The sight inspired a mix of relief and pride. Humanity had survived an encounter with a technologically superior enemy, not by sheer force, but through intelligence, strategy, and calm execution. Conversations across the globe celebrated human ingenuity. While remaining aware that the aliens could attempt future actions, the first victory had been achieved, demonstrating the power of patience and psychological strategy. As the alien fleet slowly moved back toward deeper space, the humans maintained observation, ensuring the invaders did not regroup or attempt a sudden attack. The Black Star and Earth's defense systems projected readiness and strength, reinforcing the impression that any engagement would be costly for the aliens. Each ship retreating, each hesitation confirmed that humanity had gained the upper hand, not through weapons alone, but through careful planning, foresight, and the ability to exploit fear and uncertainty. The stage was set for the humans to solidify their advantage. The aliens had begun to retreat, psychologically defeated, and the humans remained poised, ready to turn this withdrawal into a complete strategic victory. Every crew member aboard the Black Star understood the significance of what had just occurred. That intelligence, courage, and strategy could force even the most formidable alien force to reconsider. The encounter had shifted, and humanity had claimed the first decisive victory in space without firing a single destructive shot. The alien fleet continued its cautious retreat, slowly moving away from Earth's orbit. Their once confident formation now fractured, commanders uncertain of the humans' next move. Every ship that pulled back was a sign of psychological defeat. The Black Star maintained its position, observing every motion, ensuring that the aliens could not regroup or attempt a sudden attack. Crew members monitored energy readings, communications, and sensor feedback, ready to respond instantly if any part of the fleet tried to turn back. Humanity had forced a retreat without firing a single shot, using intelligence, strategy, and psychological pressure as weapons. Across Earth, people watched in awe as news broadcasts reported the alien withdrawal. Civilians cheered cautiously, realizing that the humans in space had achieved the impossible. Leaders and scientists celebrated quietly. Knowing that the planet had been saved through clever strategy rather than brute force, military analysts began studying every recorded detail, preparing for future encounters by understanding the aliens' weaknesses, hesitation, and the effects of human ingenuity. Humanity's confidence grew as the first successful demonstration of tactical superiority over a far stronger enemy became clear. On the Black Star, crew members worked with a mix of pride and vigilance. Sensors and drones continued to scan the retreating fleet, documenting energy fluctuations, formation gaps, and unusual ship movements. Every observation could be critical for future planning. Analysts recorded every moment, knowing that the encounter had provided invaluable knowledge about alien technology, behavior, and decision-making. Humans had gained an advantage that extended beyond this battle, learning how to use intelligence and psychological pressure as a strategic weapon. The alien commanders faced internal debates. Some argued for continuing withdrawal, while others suggested regrouping and counterattacking. Fear and uncertainty had taken root, their arrogance shattered by the humans' display of skill and composure. Even the most disciplined ships hesitated, unsure how to proceed. The humans had turned hesitation into their most powerful tool. Every second the aliens spent questioning themselves increased Earth's strategic advantage. The aliens realized that they could not rely on technology alone to conquer humanity, and that unpredictable intelligence could counter even the most advanced weapons. Civilian life on Earth slowly returned to normal, but the memory of the alien fleet remained vivid. News outlets and social media highlighted the ingenuity and calm strategy that had stopped an entire invasion. People felt proud that humans had survived against overwhelming odds. Scientists and engineers used the opportunity to study potential alien technology indirectly, preparing for future developments. Educational institutions discussed the encounter as a lesson in strategy, intelligence, and the importance of creativity under pressure. Humanity's morale and unity strengthened, inspired by the successful defense. The Black Star remained in orbit temporarily, continuing surveillance of the retreating fleet, maintaining readiness in case the aliens attempted any last-minute aggression. Crew members understood that patience and vigilance were as important now as during the initial encounter. They continued to project strength through sensor activity, drone formations, and energy pulses, reinforcing the impression that humans were not only capable of defending Earth but could respond decisively if challenged. Every officer and crew member felt the weight of history, knowing that their actions had changed humanity's place in the galaxy. As the alien fleet moved further away, gaps appeared in their formation, evidence of disorganization and loss of confidence. The humans recorded these signs, preparing detailed reports for Earth command and strategists. This encounter had become a case study in the use of psychological and strategic advantage, showing that intelligence, calm execution, and clever planning could force a superior enemy to retreat. The aliens' departure marked not only a temporary victory, but a permanent demonstration of human ingenuity in space warfare. The Black Star's crew celebrated quietly, understanding that their mission had succeeded beyond expectations. Earth had been defended, not through firepower alone, but through intellect, strategy, and precise timing. Every officer reflected on the courage, skill, and patience that had made this possible. The aliens' retreat would be remembered as a moment when humans proved that they could challenge the most advanced invaders, when humans could use strategy and psychology to neutralize overwhelming technological superiority. Finally, as the alien fleet disappeared into deep space, humanity took stock of the encounter, preparing for the future, strengthened by the knowledge that intelligence, adaptability, and courage could protect their planet. The Black Star returned to standard patrol positions, sensors still active, ready for any future threats. The encounter had set a new benchmark for human capability, showing the galaxy that humans were clever, fearless, and prepared. Their first victory in space had been achieved, and the lessons learned would shape every future strategy. Humanity had survived, triumphant, not through sheer power, but through the unmatched power of human ingenuity, patience, and strategic brilliance,